Good afternoon. This is Greg Brown. I'm the superintendent here in Abilene, USD 435, and I want to again welcome you to this broadcast here on YouTube to try to make sure that all of our patrons are up to speed with all of the work that's going on with the continuous learning format that kicks off officially this coming Monday. Our teachers have continued to work very hard to make sure some things are in order for our young people and make sure that we're getting some support in place for our families as well. We did have a meeting this afternoon with our county health department, and things are pretty much where they have been. We're still in the stay-at-home order, which is more than fine. And we're just trying to make sure that as many people as possible stay healthy. As my wife and I have kind of been discussing how this condition has developed, I kind of liken it to the idea that even though this disease seems to be a little bit like the flu, it is unknown. And because of its being unknown and coming in like a honest like it is, it's coming in like a tidal wave. And so what happens is our health department people can become overwhelmed in a big hurry. And that's why, we see the stories with the hospital beds in the bigger communities of just running short, being able to take care of people. And whereas I believe the flu kind of comes in a fairly predictable wave, and that's where we do have some shots that help with the spreading of flu. And we just don't have those things in place for this COVID-19. And so it is where it is right now. We are supposed to try to stay at home as much as possible. You might notice that I am back in my office today. No one's around, and this is a good place for me to get a lot of things done that need to get done to run the school system. But again, hang in there. We're at home. There are some really neat activities going on. The community is putting together a lot of interesting things. If you've heard about the bear hunt on social media, I would welcome you to go out and go bear hunting. I believe you can find that on Facebook, and it's really kind of a neat little deal. In fact, my family even has some little bears. You're really going to have to look hard to see the bears on my porch, but come by and just go for a drive with your family and check out the bears that are in the community. Another thing that's really kind of some neat news from the community, the Rotary Club that meets out at Mr. K's farmhouse, they're not able to have their Friday afternoon meeting, leasing that space with Mr. K's farmhouse, and the Rotary Club decided to donate that expense to provide $20 gift cards that are being distributed to families in need here in Abilene. And that's just really a cool thing to see that happen. And I want to thank those folks that are in leadership with that Rotary Club for making that happen. As I mentioned, we are going to start our classes on Monday. If you have not yet heard from your teachers, you will by Monday morning. So be checking out some things on the internet and see what it is that the teachers are asking you to do. We do have some family internet issues with the phone calls that we made this week. By our teachers, we've learned that there are several families who do not have internet Wi-Fi in their homes. Again, the iPads operate with Wi-Fi, so it's going to be important to have that. We have partnered with Eagle Communications to try to provide a lot of families. It's not all the families that are there, but that we know of, because there's other situations in terms of where the homes are at and that kind of thing. But we are working very hard to try to get all of those families some internet connectivity. The lion's share of that can be handled by Eagle Communications, and they have been provided some contact information to visit with you families and provide a very special offer through this partnership. So we anticipate those phone calls will start probably Monday morning, and it will take a little bit to get the internet installed in your home. The internet will be used again on the iPads. Many of our teachers are planning to use a Zoom conferencing program to meet with their classes periodically during each week. Again, the student iPads will be the format for which those Zoom meetings will happen. And the iPads will probably need to have this program installed the first time the kiddos use Zoom. You will need to have Wi-Fi to make that happen. And if the home Wi-Fi is not strong enough, we would welcome you to take a drive up by any of the schools and park outside the front door with that iPad and log on and get that Zoom format to work on the iPad that way if it's not working at home. Trying to think here on that. Yeah, I think that would take care of most of those situations. I would like to give a little bit of a shout out. Mr. Amos is our physical science and chemistry teacher at the high school, and he provided some information for his students today that are good things to think about when you are on Zoom conferencing. First of all, it might be easy for some young people and for some families to assume, well, you know what, I'm at home. I'm just hanging out in my pajamas and whatever else goes with that. Well, with the Zoom conferencing, we're going to see you just as easy as you're seeing me online. So make sure that you're dressed appropriately when you're on the Zoom conferences. You might want to check your background as well. You may notice that the bathroom door today is closed. The first time that we did this on YouTube a week or so ago with Mr. Cooper, we had that bathroom door wide open, and we got to hear about that a little bit later on. But yeah, make sure you're kind of checking what's going on in the background when you are doing a Zoom video. Check your lighting. There's you can kind of look to see what how much the shine is coming off the head or whatever else. So if you've got a bright light behind you, then it kind of casts you as a shadow. There are some things on the Zoom format where you can mute your speaker and go ahead and visit with other family members and whatnot during the session that you are on Zoom, and then unmute it to get back into the conference. And then there is a chat format on the Zoom that's very much like the chat format that works here on YouTube. So kind of check those things out as you're using your Zoom. And that, I think you'll get a lot more out of the conferences. When you have a chance, a really neat opportunity here. In fact, as soon as you're done watching this, if you're watching live, I would recommend that you get on your search bar for the YouTube and search the Zooming Bunch. All right. We have a group of teachers that are extremely creative at Kennedy Elementary, and they have done a nice little parody of the Brady Bunch using the Zoom format. So this will give you a little bit of a picture of what Zoom looks like on the iPads, and it's just it made me smile big time. It's very creative, and it's great fun to see the teachers having a good time with this. Chris Cooper has made a note here. If you need any help getting internet access, you may email Chris Cooper at AbileneSchools.org, and he will help you get that taken care of. Okay. At this point, I think I have covered pretty much everything I was going to touch base on yet today. The questions are not as numerous as they once were, so I believe most of you are beginning to kind of get your questions answered as we've gone. I would recommend that as you have other questions, feel free to email the folks that are most able to help you with that question. Email your teachers or your building principals. Feel free to, again, make phone calls as they are available. You are welcome to call or text my cell number, especially during the time where we're kind of all in isolation, but it's 785-223-2787. 1972 if you need something there. That the Zooming Bunch video link again can be found with the search bar on YouTube. I went ahead and tried it before we started today's broadcast, and it seemed to work just fine. And again, it just made I wanted to sing along with them. They just did such a nice job with it. So, any other questions? If there are no questions, we'll wrap this up today. And again, feel free to email or call or text if you do have questions, and we will do our best to get those answered. Who do we contact to stop getting emails regarding our students' low lunch balance? That one, that is interesting. Go ahead and yeah, if it's a faulty report, if it's a faulty lunch balance, we do need to get that squared away. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and call the district office. We will have somebody at that phone sometime soon, and we will try to get that answer to you one way or the other, or try to work that out with you. The district office phone number is 785-263-2630, and we will try to get that fixed up for you and go from there. Any other questions? All right. Well, we'll go ahead and shut this down here today. I want you to have a great weekend. Hopefully it'll warm up a little bit, but enjoy your family's time together, and go ahead and go into social media a little bit and kind of see what some of the interesting things going on in our community. I know one of the churches is going to have a church service in a parking lot so that they can attend in the pew behind the wheel, I guess, so to speak. But that way you keep your social distancing, and that's really a neat opportunity for that church. And again, check out the bear hunt and just try to embrace some of the freedom that we have with this challenging time, and we'll go from there. You have a great day and a great weekend. Thank you again for coming.